You are listening to Unstoppable Actors, the essential podcast for ambitious, unknown actors with me, Louise, the artistic director of Standby Method Acting Studio. And for the last 13 years, I've been taking unknown actors with blank CVs all the way to Netflix dramas, Amazon Prime films, TV soaps, and stage plays around the world. And every week I'll be talking with you and sharing how you can become a paid working unstoppable actor, because you 1000% can. An acting career is doable. Are you ready to dive into the episode? Hello actors, welcome back to the podcast. So excited to have you here as always. Well, today we're going to be talking about a common mistake that happens right at the very start of scenes that I really need you to avoid if you are going to give your best performances and then keep developing from there. But before I do, I need to let you know that we have got a character development class coming up on Sunday the 30th of July. It's a 4-hour class. It's intensive, it's thorough, it's practical, it's hands-on, it's all things method acting. It starts at 1:45 and it ends at 6:45 UK time, and it is for aspiring and unknown actors who are wanting feedback on their character work, and they're also wanting hands-on coaching to improve their skills so they can start landing more roles. So if that sounds like you know you want to start landing more roles, you know you need feedback on your efforts, you know you need some guidance on what to do to improve your character work, then this is the class for you. It's available inside the Method Actors Circle, which you can get for the early bird price of £22 per month, which is absolutely amazing value because you also get audition classes, you also get weekly mindset help to help you stay disciplined and focused on your goals, and you also get hands-on coaching, practical method acting exercises that are going to see you through the rest of your acting career, and you get detailed feedback on your auditions and your characters, as well as weekly Q&As as well. It is a really, really amazing place to be. So to become a member of the Method Actors Circle and to access that character development class on Sunday the 30th of July, go and click the link underneath this episode, but wait until the end. Listen to the episode first. Let's go back to the crux of today's episode then, which is that mistake that happens at the beginning of scenes that I really want you to iron out of yourself if you are doing this. So as you know, I've been coaching actors for the last 13 years and I specialise in method acting. Method acting is the #1 acting technique in the world. It's the most talked about technique. It can be a little controversial at times, but it's only controversial because it's misunderstood. It's actually a very, very, very intensive, thorough technique that will allow you to immerse in the character and live through it so you give your most honest, truthful, authentic performances. But what deviates actors away from their most honest performances is this one thing that they do at the beginning of scenes. So what will happen is they will stand rooted on the spot, trying to focus on getting into character. And so many of them are doing this either by going over and over their lines in their head, or how they think the lines should be said. That's what they'll go over. Or they are trying to conjure up a feeling, an emotion. Some are even trying to induce nerves because they think that if they feel nerves, that's a good sign. And then some will listen to music, like maybe put their headphones on, listen to music to try and stir up an emotion. All of these techniques, and I say the word techniques loosely because they're not really techniques, but all of these are not helpful because they're not reliable. You know, you might say, yes, but Louise, when I put my headphones in and I listen to music, it definitely brings up a feeling. And I'm not denying that it can do that, especially if we are very sensitive to music, but it's not reliable because once it's brought up a feeling, you will then be relying on that exact same feeling to come up every time you listen to that song. And that's not always what's going to happen. It might bring up a feeling less intense, more intense, a completely different feeling, but you are going to be searching for that same feeling that you believe is the right one that you need for the beginning of the scene. So that's why none of these things are reliable. So let me run through them again. So it's trying to focus on getting into the character by going over and over and over the lines. It's trying to focus on getting into character by going over the lines and how you think the lines should be said. So saying them in your head the way you think they should be said. It's trying to conjure up a feeling, or it's trying to induce nerves, or it's listening to music to try and stir up an emotion. So these are not reliable ways of getting into the scene and getting into the character. It is fair to say that the first moment is the hardest to connect to, because you are literally going from yourself as the actor into the character. And that is a massive, massive, massive transition. So to jump from you into the character is a big ask of an actor, especially if this character is one that seems very far removed from you. So, for example, you might be playing an abuser and you might see that's quite a horrible character, and you might never have abused anyone and think, my God, like this is so hard to go from me to their mindset. Or on the opposite end of the spectrum, it could be playing someone who's from, let's say, an upper class background, someone with a lot of wealth, and you might not understand that. So jumping from you to that, again, is a big ask of you as the actor. Or it could be any other character, to be honest. They were just a couple of examples. So the first moment is key. It really is key. And the first moment starts before you even say your first line. So many actors get caught up thinking the first line is the first moment of the scene, but it's not, because there's something that happens before that gets you to speak. However, now we've established that the first moment is before you even speak, the first moment is the one that springboards you into the scene. And whatever your focus levels are in that first moment will determine how the scene pans out. You will know that you struggle to connect to the first moment if you feel like you're pushing for a connection, which those examples that I gave earlier are trying to force some sort of connection. You'll also know if it takes you until partway through the scene to warm into it and find your flow. And you'll know that because you will have heard feedback, or you will just feel that partway through everything starts to click into place. And we really don't want that to happen. We have to make the first moment the most important moment to connect to, because, as I've already said, everything else will grow out of this. The rest of the scene will evolve from this very first moment. So just remember, the first moment is not the first time you speak, it's the moment before that. So what do we need to do instead then? Well, there are some exercises, some method acting exercises that will really help you. It is right, your instincts are right to want to try to focus before you go into the scene. That's absolutely right. So don't give yourself a hard time over that. But the question becomes, what do we actually need to focus on? So here are some exercises. Sense memory. That's a very, very good one. Rampaging, objects of attention, or an exercise called I am a person who. These are 4 powerful method acting exercises because they guide you into your imagination, and via your imagination, you then slip into the character, which is what we want. So I'll repeat them again. Sense memory, rampaging, objects of attention, or an exercise called I am a person who. Now, you don't need to just choose one of them, for example, rampaging, and go, oh, well, that's the only exercise I ever need to use. I use them on rotation, really. It depends where I'm at the start of the scene, like before the scene's even started. I can choose which one I need. If I know my focus is absolutely everywhere, I'm going to start with sense memory. And that's before the director's even called action, or, if you're doing a stage play, it's way before. Well, it's not way before. It's about 5 minutes before I'm needed, before I hear my cue to come on stage. If it's an audition, again, it's about 5 minutes before I'm due to go into the audition room that I'll start using this. If my focus is pretty good, but I just need to connect to the purpose of the character, I'll do rampaging. If this is quite an emotional scene and I'm like, okay, I need to figure out what my obstacles are in this scene as the character, not as the actress, I will go to I am a person who. If my focus is pretty good and I'm like, you know what, it's quite high today, but I do just need one thing to hone into, which is going to catapult the rest of the scene, or not catapult the rest of the scene, sorry, but allow the scene to grow out of it, I'll use objects of attention. So when I was on set last year, and I was the only quote unquote method actor, I was literally the only method actor on set, I didn't have to do anything crazy such as, staying in character all day, which is what a lot of people think method actors do. They think, oh yeah, method actors just stay in character all day. And that's not what I do. I don't feel the need to do that as an actor. Instead, what I do is draw upon the different method acting exercises that I need in any given moment. So I will always make sure, as I've already said, I get into my first position about 5 minutes before we're due to shoot the scene. And that's what I did when I was filming last year. I would go and ask the director or the producer or runner or whoever, how long is it, do you think, until we shoot? And this is when, obviously they're setting up the scene. When they told me, like, we'll be doing it at this time, I would make sure I was in my first position 5 minutes before that. And then I would feel into, where am I at creatively right now? Where are my focus levels and where are my belief levels? And when I'd suss that out, I would then decide which one of those 4 exercises I've just shared with you I needed. And then I would use that exercise. And the great thing about these exercises is you just do them internally. You do them inside. And that's the beauty of method acting, is you work from the inside out. No one knew what I was doing, and I didn't have to tell anyone what I was doing. As far as everyone else was concerned, it just looked like I was focusing, which of course I was, but I was working my imagination inside. I actually found when I was filming last year that I actually used I'm a Person Who, that exercise, more than the other ones. That got me straight into that place of that character's world, the given circumstances of what was going on, their emotional life internally, what I needed, and who I was as the character. It got me into that place pretty quickly. For the inexperienced actor or someone who's new to these exercises, it's going to take you a little bit longer than 5 minutes, because there's 2 parts to this, as I've already said. Firstly, you've got to be able to figure out, where am I at creatively? Where am I at focus-wise? Where am I at belief levels-wise? And that just takes a bit of practice to be able to figure out where you're at with that. But then once you've developed that self-awareness, of course, you've got to practice the exercises enough times with feedback on how you're doing with them until they become second nature. These exercises, because I've practiced them enough times, they are now second nature to me. So that's how I'm able to choose very quickly which one I need, and I'm able to connect to them really, really quickly, and I can get into the scene very quickly. So with training and coaching and guidance, you will be able to do the same. And then that first moment, you'll never ever need to put earphones in and listen to music. You'll never need to keep going over and over and over lines, obsessing over them or how you should be saying them, because you've got reliable techniques underneath your belt, and you are then an actor who can stand on your own 2 feet. And that's what the training is about, and these exercises are about. It's about you becoming an actor that can stand on your own 2 feet because you've practiced the craft that much. It's almost like it's in your DNA. It's part of your biology now. So you don't need anybody to tell you what to do, because you can figure it out yourself. And that's the kind of actor that directors love to work with, because if you can imagine, whilst there's all this chaos going on around me of them setting up the shot, setting up the camera angles, them figuring out what they need to do in the scene, there's all this chaos going on around me and other method actors who use these exercises. And yet we can zone out of that and zone into the exercises that we need to get into the character and into the scene to be able to deliver the truth of it. Okay, so directors like working with those kind of actors because you're not taking up any time. You're not nagging them. You're not not nagging, sorry, that's the wrong word, but you're not asking them for help because you can do it yourself. You're self-sufficient. That makes their life so much easier, especially on sets where, to the outsider, when you go to the cinema and watch a film, it looks very, very glamorous and it looks very effortless, but sometimes sets can be chaotic because there's so much going on. Sometimes the shots are not set up right. Sometimes there's technical issues. Sometimes there's issues with sound. Sometimes there's other issues. But for you to be able to seamlessly go from yourself into the character is a dream for directors. And that's the kind of actor that I want you to be. And you can become one of those types of actors who is effortless to work with, a dream to work with, because all of these exercises stimulating your imagination. Now, to become that type of actor who directors just see as really easy to work with because you know what you're doing, you need to learn these exercises, and the best place to learn them is inside the Method Actor Circle. So before you go, I'm just going to explain again what the Method Actor Circle is. It's a monthly membership. It's brand new. It's exclusive. It is for unknown actors and aspiring actors who are ambitious and have set themselves big acting goals, and they are determined to make them happen. And it's for those actors, you can be a brand new actor, you can be an actor who's regularly auditioning, you can be an actor who's returning to the industry after a break. It doesn't matter what level you're at or where you're at, as long as you have the passion and the desire to turn your acting dreams into a reality, into an actual paying career. So if you know you need to make that happen, the Method Actors Circle is perfect for you. And then inside this monthly membership, you get access to character development classes, which, as I said at the beginning of the podcast, we've got one coming up on the 30th of July, which starts at 1:45 UK time. You can be from anywhere in the world to take it because it's online. You get audition classes, you get help with your mindset because sometimes we do lose motivation, especially when life starts happening and getting in the way. So you get help with that. You also get weekly Q&As, you get hands-on practical exercises to use, you get feedback on your efforts, you get scenes to work with, you get audition pieces. There's so much help in there for you, but the early bird price is only available for a limited amount of time. So if that sounds right up your street and you would love me to coach you, then definitely go and check out the page, which is underneath this podcast. Go and check out the lovely reviews that we've got. Go and check out the timetable, which is on there. Check out the FAQs as well, and then come and join it. You can stay in the Method Actors Circle for as long or as little as you want, for as long as you feel you need to learn, and that's the beauty of it. So you get access to world-class training at not the price that you would pay at drama school or even evening classes. So definitely go and check it out. As always, I hope this episode has been really inspiring and insightful and useful for you. Remember, my aim is to help you become an unstoppable actor. And when you start putting to use the things that I share with you in these episodes, that will happen. Okay, I'll see you in the next episode. I've absolutely loved hanging out with you, and I really hope you found this episode inspiring. If you have, please do rate the podcast and hit follow so you never miss an episode, and I can help more actors like you. And come and join one of the most supportive, uplifting acting communities on socials, the Unstoppable Actors Facebook group, where you'll get your weekly injection of inspiration, networking, and receive your free Method Actors handbook so you can become an unstoppable actor.